not country over or party over country. It's brand over country, the Trump brand. I would agree with that, yeah.
I've never heard a president talking about, I might take Greenland, might go to Venezuela.
He fancies himself a deal maker. He wants a Nobel Peace Prize. He prides himself on the number of wars that he's ended, conflicts that he's solved. I think ideally he would have wanted Iran to end up with a diplomatic solution. He came with terms. I don't think war was a preferred option. I think he would be much happier if there was an agreement that, allowed everything to kind of stay in place. Iran would abide by nuclear restrictions, missile restrictions, proxy restrictions, and then a Trump casino gets built in, Tehran. That would have made him happy. Because, that is about the personal. That is about the brand. And it's also, he sees that as benefiting the United States, benefiting the U.S. as global partners in the region. So, but I think a lot of this is personally driven. I would agree.
I also find it quite fascinating that our Prime Minister in the UK, Keir Starmer, is not being asked about any of this stuff ahead of time. I think if we go back a couple of decades, the UK and the US were allies. Now it seems like the US is kind of acting as a lone force in the world. And it's funny because, I watched Keir Starmer come out after the attacks have happened, and he clearly had no idea it was going to happen. Same in Venezuela. Once upon a time, you would have briefed us.
The president did go to the prime minister about, I think, using Diego Garcia and other bases, and was turned down, if I'm not mistaken, right? So there was some awareness that something was being planned, and the prime minister said that the UK government would have no part in any of that.
What's going on here? What's the macro picture in terms of the declining world order that we once knew, where it wasn't just United States running around doing whatever they liked, and other people might be briefed or asked?
I'm interested in looking at outcome, and then kind of looking backwards at how we got there. And I'm also very interested in how divided America is, because I really do see it as the greatest weakness. So you can show strength in what just happened, but if you are extremely vulnerable at home, and I'm not talking necessarily about Hezbollah terrorist cells being, activated, which may or may not happen. I'm just talking about the clash of political parties in the United States. And to that end, I often look at the past. And so we're talking about, you mentioned, being friendly and having our allies and I can't help but look at the reaction of the opposing party right now at this action, for better or for worse, but bringing up the Iraq War and talking about how we got our allies involved. We went to Congress. And I, as a historian, can't help but think, but wait a minute, the Iraq War was built on faulty intelligence. The Iraq War led us into a 20-year absolute misery with so many people in this area killed and so many more problems metastasizing as a result. And so to be selective about what works and what doesn't work is, to me, as dangerous as a situation as we are in now. And I know that's a little bit skirting away from, giving you an answer as to why what was done, or whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. It just simply is very interesting to me, because I can't help but see, being a subject matter expert on the history of the CIA in particular, I see these actions where it is presidential authority driven since the end of World War II. And to me, that's what this action looks like. So we're in the new era where we are in, which I find interesting, is where the President of the United States can essentially take what would historically be a covert action operation. You wouldn't even know about it. That would be the idea. Instead, announcing it as a military program. So he's merging the legal authorities of Title 10 and Title 50.
What's that?